Then my brain kicked in. My brain said, "You are getting robbed." Welcome back to another podcast edition of the Logical Crazy Talk. My name is Christopher Anthony, and today, today is Saturday, so you ain't got nothing else to do but to enjoy yourself and kick back. It's the 4th of July Saturday too, so you got Monday off. All right, that's my sexy voice, in case y'all wondering. Anyways, no, Saturdays I've been talking to the guys and I've always wanted to do like a storytelling, something that's changed your life for the good or changed your life for the bad, something that's impacted you as a person and what that story was. So the story that impacted me and made me a different person or made me like kind of open my eyes and think a little bit more was a story of fear. I got robbed. Yeah, man. It had to change your life. Anyways, just like any other day, I was a young kid, 22, 23 years old, and I started the day at work. I worked at a sneaker store during this time. I was selling tennis shoes, and I was also like you doing the whole sneakerhead market thing where I would resell shoes. And I come across a pair of Galaxy foams. If you care anything about foams, these were pretty cool back when I had them. And I think I only paid 400, 500 for them, but they were going for like almost $3,000. So, anyways, as I'm working in the store, I think I had copped a couple pair of Jordans, and I'd already sold them that day. So I had some things to do when I got off work, and I got a phone call. It was a friend of a friend. So one of my friend's friend gives one of my friends, like my friend, wants to buy your galaxies, and I'm like, all right, well, give him my number and tell him to just shoot me a text or call me. So he calls me. He's like, hey, I don't want to buy them, but I have a friend that wants to buy them. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And he's like, how much do you want for them? And I was like, well, I really just want 15 for them. My homeboy thinks they're three, so I'm gonna tell him it's two. I was like, oh shit. All right, cool, whatever. I just want my 15 then. He's like, all right, bet. He's like, I'll give you a call when I get my man's over here. So, all right, cool. So I get off work, I go make a couple runs, and you know, it was a weird day too, because even those runs were like in the back of like a gas station parking lot or some shit like that. So the gas station one was a little weird to me. But anyways, while I was doing that, I got into an argument with my mom and my girlfriend. Both of them. It was weird. It was like back to back. My mom called and was talking to me about some nonsense, and I was like, "All right, well, it is what it is." And we got off the phone, and then when my girlfriend was calling, she was talking. She was still talking nonsense too about something probably did the other night. I'm like, "Yo, get off my phone!" And I just hung up on her, and she was texting and cussing me out, but I just didn't respond to her. Um, so I went to go pick up my homeboy, and I was like, "Yo, let's go grab a drink or something." But then, I get that phone call, and and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, my man's ready. Meet me at so and so's location." And this is like at an apartment complex. So I'm like, "All right, well, that can't be too bad, right?" So I'm like, "Yo, just run with me over here to go drop these shoes off. It shouldn't be too long. It should be pretty quick." He's like, "All right, cool, bet." And back then we were carrying those little backpacks and shit, and I don't know. They look cool, like the little Nike bags in street. I just bought my car too, by the way. That's another part of the story. I just bought a BMW 3 Series, and it was a super nice car. I was in love with it. I put rims on it and like blacked out like the whole European tag on the front and shit and blacked the entire thing out. I'll show you a picture. But I love that car. So, anyways, we get to the location, and for some odd reason my friend jumps out the car. I don't know why he gets out the car, but he does. And as he gets out the car, this other guy that's pulling up gets in my car. So it happened so fast I couldn't really control that situation, because normally I would have just told him like sit there and give me the shoes. I'd do it outside the window. But it happened so fast I couldn't control it. So the guy sits down in the car and he picks up the sneakers because they're right in front of him. And he's looking at me, just looking. I'm like, all right. So as he's looking, he's asking me like, "So you want 2 grand for these?" I was like, "Yeah, that's right." And he was like, "All right, I only got 1,700. Will you take 17?" So I'm like, "This is the typical, nah." I was like, "All right, cool." In my mind, I'm like, "I don't care because I really want 15." So I was like, "No, no, I'll take 17." That's fine. If you can give me 17, we're out the door. But as I'm saying, give me 17, I look at his homeboy as out my window. And I'm like, yo, you just lost $300. So, because you don't got your man's on point. So as I turn back, like I see him like kind of flimming around with his money. Like he's like counting it like you know how like people don't have enough money, so you kind of count it backwards and like try to confuse me. So that's what I'm thinking he's doing. So I'm staring at him. I'm like, I can count pretty well. So I go back to his man. I'm like, yo, what is wrong with your homeboy? And as I say, what is wrong with your homeboy? I turn back and there's a gun in my face. Now, initially, my reaction was I grabbed him and I pushed his hands forward. And he's trying to wrestle with me, but I guess I was stronger than he was at that time. And I'm not thinking, but I'm holding it straight forward and I'm just looking at him like, yo, what are you doing? And he's like trying to like wrestle with it. And then my brain kicked in. My brain said, nigga, you are getting robbed. And I panicked. I let the gun go and I was like, oh. And I was like, yo, you can have it. You can have it. You can have it. So at this point, my mind's trying to go, what can I do to get out of here? I had a gun in the car, but I was afraid if I went for it because it was sitting right beside me between the console and my seat. And I was like, if I reach for it, he's probably gonna shoot. So probably not the best idea. Okay, get out the car. So I start looking at the door panel and I'm like, I don't see the unlock button on here. And I'm trying to like, again, I'm panicking. So I'm looking, like, why can't I find it? If anyone that has a BMW, they know that the lock and unlock button is in front of you next to the hazard lights. I had no idea. So I'm like, yo, maybe I should just try to open the door. So I go to open the door and I'm like pulling the door handle and my door is locked. And I'm like, fuck. So now I'm like, maybe I can just jump out the window. I can just jump out the window because my window's rolled down. Just jump out the window. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And so I try to get out the window and my seatbelt is holding me down. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to get shot. And I was like, I know he's gonna shoot me because half my body's trying to get out the fucking window. Now, I wish I could tell you that I was as calm as I'm talking to you guys, like shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I just thought this all through and I was just smooth about it. No. The entire time that all this is going on, I'm hollering like a girl, and my arms are flaming like this. And I'm screaming, help and save me, and Lord, please, Jesus. And as I'm hanging out the window, my arms are still flailing out the window, and I'm like, help me, Lord. And I want to say that he did not shoot because he might have thought this nigga is really scared. But my homeboy like grabs his backpack and pretends like he has like a firearm in his backpack. And I think that the other guy that was robbing me looked at him and was like, oh, I won't get out of here because that guy might have a firearm too. So he was like, put it down, put your backpack down, put your backpack down. And I'm just like, please, God, please let him have a gun in there. Please, God, just let him have a gun in there. And I don't know if he did or didn't. I know he did not, but he looked at me like, and in that moment, it was panic for me, like, nigga, please, please. So what, the guy jumps out of my car and jumps in his and peels off. So my homeboy's like, man, fuck that, we gonna get this nigga, fuck that. And he's like upset and running, he's like, let's go, let's ride. And I'm like, oh man, I really, really just want to go home now, man. And but I don't say that because I still have to. I know how bad I looked 10 seconds ago. So I'm like, yeah, let's get him. Please, let's go home. But I'm like, yeah, let's go get him. And so I'm driving, remind you, not very fast because I'm like, I'm looking, man. I'm just trying to find him. He's like, man, speed up. I'm like, I'm trying to find him, man. But I wasn't trying to find him. I was trying to get my black ass home. And I was hoping that man I was like, please, just go. Just get out of here because I don't feel like getting shot. I've dodged one bullet. I'm not trying to run into anything else. So we're driving and driving. And he's like, man, fuck that. Let's go back and go get the other niggas. I bet he knows where he at. But he set you up, man. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like to me, at this point, I don't care about any of that. Not for some tennis shoes, big dog. He got me. I slipped and he got me. I'm cool. Nope, we had to go back. And then like, oh man, no. My homeboy's like, man, F that. We gonna F you up if you blah 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 blah. And I'm like, you keep talking about we, nigga. We not in France, man. What's we? Who's we? You. I'm done. I'm over it. I just want to go home. So my man's like, I'll just tell you where he's at. The guy that was the plug in that situation that introduced us, the connect, or whatever you want to call him. He was like, I'll find out where he's at, and I'll give you the address, man. Man, I ain't have nothing to do with this. I ain't have nothing to do with this. And I was like, man, we know where you stay at, man. We be back. And I'm like, God, this nigga's talking all this crazy shit, and I'm just want to go home. I'm not built like no real gangster, man. I'm just a little nigga, man. Like shit, I thought I was a gangster. I'm not. I am a civilian like a motherfucker. Let me just be a civilian. So, anyways, I drop him off at home, and on the way up to his house, we see the same car that was just around us, and he's like, "There you go, right there." And I'm like, "Please, God, please, why?" And as my man is trying to get out the car, we see a Caucasian male get into that car, and he's like, "Oh, shit, I thought that was that man. Man, we about to go get him." I'm like, "God, he's still using weed. Like, I'm finna go do something. Man, I'm ready to go home." So I drop him off, and I head to the house, and like all I could do is thinking about all I could do was when I got to the house, call my mom and Liz, and I was like, "Yo, I just want to apologize, and I want to tell you, like, I'm so sorry that I apologize." And the only thing that kept running through my mind was if something would have happened to me that day, those two people that were really important in my life would have thought he was upset with me when he died. So ever since then, ever since that day, I've always tried to remember, like, hey, I don't leave any situation in an argument. I don't ever leave a situation where someone might think that I'm upset. Even if we're arguing, I will get off and be like, I love you though. You might not agree right now, but I still love you. Because you never know when something crazy like that would happen. So I never want to leave with people going, was he angry with me? Because a lot of times it's just a temporary emotion. So the moral of this story for me was never leave the home, never leave any situation or people you love with a bad taste in their mouth or in yours. Always leave it with a good positive note. Even if you guys are upset with each other, just hey, I love you. Just make sure you know that. I might be upset. I don't gotta like you, but I love you. But yeah, that's my story, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to the very first actually story time Saturdays. I got a story to tell. Uh, if you want to tell a story, let me know. I'll put you on. You can come sit right down in this seat right here, and we can just all just tell stories that change our lives, man. Um, again, like, subscribe, comment. That's the things you're supposed to do, right? We are trying. We have 21 videos. That is consistency for your ass. They might not be that great, but it's 21 of them. So give us a like or subscribe for just that. But if you enjoy this or you want us to tell more stories, like this video or comment like this is cool. Uh, everyone will start doing it. Everyone will tell a cool story or a funny story or something that just made it change your life. But thanks for listening, and y'all be easy.